Alright, so this is our 2012 Georgetown Forest River 351 bunkhouse. So a lot of folks who are renting this want to get an idea of what's included in it. So I figured I'd give a walk around of the outside, and then we'll do a second video on the inside. So this is gas powered. It's 37 feet long. It has an awning on the outside here, which if you're using it, make sure to roll it up when you're not using it, and especially when it gets into the wind. So I have a bunch of compartment doors here. I'm getting one replaced here on the front. They got messed up, and I got a new door ordered this week, and it'll be replaced. There's the dish tailgater. It'll plug up to the satellite and the receiver on the inside, and then you can watch TV. Got an expandable trash can and a little basket there that has picnic tablecloth, cable for the dish to go to the satellite. All kinds of stuff in here. I got little propane bottles, so if you happen to rent the grill, got those. Cleaner, fire extinguisher, a little cooler, ant killer, all kinds of stuff in there. In the back, you won't ever have to be in here, but this is where the water filter is, and then when I go to winterize it, that's the tube for that. You really don't have to get in there. Back here in the very back, it's all open with the 3 doors, but this is one door. You can see I have 4 chairs in there right now, 2 umbrellas, a big brush if you ever want to wash it. A couple umbrellas are in there, and I've also got one of those mats. It's kind of like a straw mat that you can put out in front of the door so that you kind of keep things clean there. And then in the back here I have a box, lots of storage back here, but I got a box with all kinds of electrical cables in here. This thing here, you'll want to look at another YouTube video. It's called a Genturi generator exhaust system. And what that does is if you happen to be at a tailgate or somewhere where you don't want to get the exhaust fumes on everybody else, it vents the exhaust, which the exhaust is right there, the small pipe in front of the front wheel. It takes the exhaust and it vents it all the way to the roof line. So if you're at a tailgate and you're right on top of each other, you can people can sit right outside there beside it, and it cuts down on the noise, and it also gets the exhaust up past there. So if you need to run it all night, you don't have to worry about getting fumes on anybody else. And here's the biggest of the 3 doors in the back. Got a water hose here and electrical cable. This is 50 amp service. You can see the 50 amp plug there. So when you're driving down the road and you want to use the main air conditioner, you're going to take this 50 amp plug and you're going to plug it up into that socket there. In the event that you only have 30 amp service, you can take what's called a dog bone here, and this goes from 50 amp, takes it down to 30 amp, and also down to 110 if you need to just plug it up to your house. Of course, obviously, if you're going to use 110, you don't have enough power to run both air conditioners and the microwave and all that good stuff, so you can only do one thing at a time. And then I've got the hitch there as well. So in the other compartments here, I got a toolbox with a bunch of stuff, wrenches, pipe fittings, and all that good stuff. There's the city water, fresh water on the outside. When I plug up the city water, I put this 90-degree on there so it doesn't keep pressure on the hose. And then I do the same thing with the fresh water, which I'll fill it up before you rent it, so you have plenty of that. And then going along here, this is the dump area. And there's 2 levers in here. The one on the right is for the black tank, which is basically the toilet. And then the lever on the left is for your gray water, which comes out of the shower and the sinks. There's a little accordion thing there to the left that'll help with gravity, so that if you're hooked up to the sewer, it'll help with gravity to get the water down in there. There's a little clear thing that whenever I'm dumping the tanks or have this hooked up, I always hook that up to it, because the sewer hose itself, you can't tell what's going through it and whether it's clear or not, so I like to plug that up to it. And then there's another hose right here, and you can use this if you just want to dump your gray water. So that way, if you're somewhere and you have water service, and you want to take showers as much as you want, you can just run that hose out into the grass and let the water run out. And then I've got some gloves and stuff. And then there's a wand there if you're dumping the black tank. You don't have to, but if you want to stick it down in the toilet and get it extra clean, because sometimes the sensor will look like it's full when it's really not if a piece of toilet paper gets on there. Here's the generator. So it's a Onan generator. You can start it out here on the back, or you can start it on the inside as well. I show this to you so that you know how to take it off. You just pull this cover off and it'll come out. So if for some reason you're running it and you only have half power, only half of the things are working, or none of them are working, there's 2 breaker switches that are in there. So you want to know that just in case those flip. Here is a step so that if you put the jacks down, and there's about maybe a foot or a foot and a half between the bottom step that comes out automatically, you can put this one out there to make up for it. Also notice on the bottom there are a couple boards. You'll want to put those underneath the jacks if you're putting the jacks down on the grass or in the dirt. So never put those jacks down on the dirt without those, or the grass without those boards on it. Otherwise, if you're on the cement or gravel, you can put them down. Also have a ladder that's in there for the kids, which I need to cut for the bunk beds, so that'll be on the inside eventually. And then there's also a table out here. So if you go tailgating, or you want to cook breakfast outside, or just want to have a table outside, that folding table's on the outside. And this compartment goes all the way through, and once I replace that door on the other side, you'll be able to see through this week. And then over here on the left side, we have all the hydraulics and then the propane tank. The propane tank, as long as you're not running the furnace, you won't ever have to worry about filling that up, because it'll go almost all summer long. It supplies power to the stove and the refrigerator when it's not plugged up, so the refrigerator will stay cool, and you don't have to worry about that unless you turn on the furnace. So this is basically the outside. There's one slide on this side, and there's one other slide that's almost a full slide on the other side. So this is it here, and in the second video we'll go on the inside and check that out.